Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Hungry Shark Tavern. On this channel, I not only like to cover the historical and cultural ties to food, but also some of the science behind it, how and why things work in the kitchen. Today we will go over one such example by exploring emulsions. What is an emulsion? Put simply, an emulsion is a cohesive combination of two liquids that don't ordinarily mix, like oil and water. In a vinaigrette, those two liquids are oil and vinegar. The only way to mix them properly is to combine them strenuously enough so that the oil breaks down into little teeny tiny droplets that remain suspended and surrounded by vinegar. If you were to zoom in on an emulsion, you can see it's a bunch of teeny tiny droplets packed very tightly together, but not actually touching. Keeping those droplets separate is the key to a stable emulsion. But it's a fragile business because the droplets are attracted to one another, and if they merge, then they just form into bigger and bigger globules, and the emulsion fails. It breaks, it becomes separated into two different liquids. That's why emulsions contain emulsifiers, which form a thin barrier around these droplets in order to help keep them separated. This is accomplished by the unique structure of emulsifiers, in which one portion of the molecule is hydrophobic, or water-avoiding, and the other part is hydrophilic, water-loving. This hydrophobic portion, often a fatty acid chain, will orient towards the oil, encapsulating it, and keeping the droplets distinct from the surrounding vinegar and from one another. Many vinaigrettes contain mustard, which contains polysaccharides that act as a very effective short-term emulsifier. The stabilization quality of a vinaigrette can be further improved by using aged balsamic vinegar, or even small amounts of molasses. Both of these liquids contain compounds that increase the viscosity of the emulsion, making it much more difficult for the small oil droplets to combine back into larger masses. Today, I will show a quick and easy method to make a classic balsamic vinaigrette that can be made in a minute and, in my opinion, tastes as good as any that you would find in a restaurant. To make our vinaigrette, let's gather our ingredients. A classic vinaigrette will typically be about a 3-to-1 ratio of oil to vinegar. So, let's grab 1.5 cups of olive oil, a half cup of balsamic vinegar, 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard, and a bit of salt and pepper. To start, we are going to whisk together our vinegar, our mustard, and our salt and pepper in a bowl. Once combined, we're going to slowly add that oil in a steady stream, whisking as you do. The whisking will agitate the oil and vinegar, causing our droplets to form and to create our emulsion. Once all the oil has been added and the emulsion has set, we can adjust our seasoning to our personal preferences. This vinaigrette is moderately stable as is, but eventually the emulsion will start to separate as oil droplets very slowly reform with one another. Not to worry though. All you need to do, if you see that the emulsion has separated, is give it a good shake for 5 to 10 seconds or so, and this will recombine and reset the emulsion. There are a few means to make a stable emulsion, like you would find packaged in many grocery stores. However, this gets into the territory of molecular gastronomy with very specific measurements of thickening agents such as liquid lecithin and Gleace, and a much more careful assembly to everything. This is well beyond the territory that I would like to cover, at least for the foreseeable future, but who knows, maybe one day. Anyway, you can use this basic formula and some creativity to make an innumerable variety of vinaigrettes at home. For example, you could add chopped herbs like thyme, oregano, tarragon. You can add honey. You could add minced ginger or garlic. You could even use different oils in order to get a different flavor to that, like, for example, avocado oil, or even different vinegars. For example, our apple core vinegar that we made in our waste not video. I also gave a quick tutorial on a honey mustard vinaigrette with an Asian flair that has become one of my favorites. We will continue the discussion of emulsions in future videos, with things like mayonnaise and butter. Until then, I hope to see you here again at the Hungry Shark Tavern.